Yeah, really thought it was a great way to start the homestand tonight. I thought the crowd was pretty electric tonight and gave us a big lift. We handed the ball to the Rock today, and he delivered big time. It took him a little bit to get through that first inning. They put a couple of long at bats on him, but after that, he just really took control of the lineup, and I thought he threw the ball really well. Mixing in his fastballs and mixing in the secondaries as well. Had a pretty good mix. I thought he and Cal worked a really good game plan, and then Spire came in to put the fire out, and I thought Matt Brash did a really nice job of getting out of the inning with just the one run, and then being able to turn it back to the offense. And offensively, the 2 home runs were big to get us on the board and to get us a little bit of a cushion. And then able to kind of manufacture a run there, and kind of make it 3-1. I thought JP's at bat there was outstanding, and then able to break it open a little bit in the 8th, and just again some really good offensive at bats, especially later in the game, and a real good win all around, and one to build on here as we go.
Yeah, just how locked in is Randy right now?
Yeah, I mean, he just continues. He picked up. I thought, going on the road trip, he picked up right where he left off at home, and then now, coming through the break and the All-Star game, he's just continuing to stay on that role, and got a pitch up in the zone. I thought he put a really good swing on it, and just continues to be, come up big in with those home runs, and I thought that was a big one to get us on the board and at least get us on the winning side of it, or the leading side of that game at that point of the game.
Did you watch him in the swing off at all?
Yeah.
Start game?
Yeah.
And what was your reaction to that?
I love his swing. I love what he does, and it was just good to see him in that situation and getting a chance to drive one out of the ballpark there, in the swing off, but that I think is really indicative of where his swing is. He's just in a really good spot, and continues to put up good at bats for us in the games.
It's 15 straight games now for JP with a hit. What has been locked in for him?
I mean, I think that at bat tonight was pretty typical of the way his at bats have gone, and we talk about it all the time with JP. In terms of being able to use left field, and when he is locked in like that, especially on the left-handed hitters, it really puts him in a good spot, and that was a huge AB. Huge RBI for us in the moment of the game, and when he's locked in that direction, it really frees you up. And again, that's middle of the field. That's taking what they'll give you, and not trying to do too much. And JP has just been, he's been doing it for a consistent period of time here.
Dan, there were a lot of good at bats in that inning,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like you're playing for a run when you have that bunch, but they kept going. And you've got some guys who are pretty aggressive there, but you had those great at bats. How important is it? The home runs are great, but to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's huge. We talked about it in Detroit, where the biggest ballpark in the league, and we hit a lot of home runs. But you can't always expect that that's going to happen, and you've got to be able to score in other ways. And tonight, to your point, they were putting up good at bats. We get the 3-1 run, but then a walk, couple of stolen bases where forced another walk. And then a sac fly there from Solano, which I thought was a great read by Julio, and then a wild pitch. You just put the pressure on the defense, and that's what happens. And when you're able to score like that, also along with the home runs, that's when you're going to be in a good spot. And it was really good to see that tonight.
Dan, this is only game 1 of a series, but did this feel like a statement against the first place team?
I mean, we got a long way to go in the second half, but good to get off on the right foot for sure. And this is the team that's ahead of us right now, and we want to do what we can to narrow that gap a little bit. And tonight's a good start. Again, with the help of the crowd, I thought the crowd was awesome and kept us in that game and kept us rolling, and really picked up the energy when we kind of opened it up. But again, just got to approach them like we say, one at a time. And tonight was just a good one to get started. And come tomorrow up ready to prepare for game 2.
What have you seen from Mitch Garver over the past few weeks? I mean, it seems like just, when he makes contact, it's just been solid and consistent.
Yeah. Garv's been really swinging it, we saw it in Detroit a couple of times where he was able to find barrels and really drive it a long way. Tonight, going dead central, here is that ball was really well struck. So, he has such a good eye at the plate, and he's really looking for his pitch, and when he gets it, doing a lot of damage. And gotta love to see that, from Mitch.
All right. Thanks, Dennis.
Take it.
How many stolen bases is your catcher going to get this year?
Luis, when they told you that you were going to start the first game in the second half, especially against an Astros team you're chasing in the division, just what was your reaction to getting that assignment?
Cuando te dijeron que ibas a comenzar el primer juego regresando para la segunda mitad, especialmente contra el equipo de Houston, equipo que están siguiendo, ¿no?, en esta división, ¿cómo fue tu reacción?
No, una noticia, bueno, de empezar el primer juego fue la preparación. Fui allá a mi casa, República Dominicana, trabajé, me preparé para tener esa buena actuación en esta noche. Y a pesar de que es un equipo competidor, los Astros, afortunadamente tuvimos que batallar hasta que tuvimos la victoria.
Yeah, they told me the news. I went home to the DR, and I was there prepared because I knew the second half was coming. But yeah, when you face a team like this, fortunately for me, you go up there and you just battle until you try to get the results that you did today.
They made you throw a lot of pitches the first inning, and then you kind of really got into a groove after that. What clicked for you maybe from the second inning on tonight?
Te hicieron lanzar muchos lanzamientos en la primera entrada y luego de ahí como que conseguiste un ritmo. ¿Qué cambió, de la segunda entrada en adelante?
Bueno, lo que cambió fue como siempre hemos hablado, de atacar siempre el primer pitch de strike. Eso fue lo que pudimos hacer en esos últimos 6 innings. Atacar el bateador y tratar de sacar el inning con pocos picheos.
Yeah, I think what changed was, the thing that we talk about a lot, just attacking and trying to get those first pitch strikes. And, I think that's exactly what happened in those last 6 innings that we had. So, that was the game plan when I went up there, just attack.
You gave up a couple singles to open the third, and then you ended up striking out Altuve to end the inning. That he's been such a difficult batter for a lot of pitchers to face over the years. How significant was that strikeout for you?
Diste un poco de imparables, ¿no?, en esa tercera entrada y luego ese ponche al Altuve, un bateador que ha estado que ha tenido buen año. ¿Qué tanto fue significado, no, para poncharlo ahí en esa situación?
Bueno, bastante bien, con gente en posición anotadora. Ese ponche yo creo que fue una de las claves de nosotros salir de ese tráfico en el tercer inning. Y gracias a Dios pudimos salir victoriosos de ese tercer inning.
Yeah, we just go basically it was good because you have runners in scoring position. So I think that one strikeout was kind of the key to kind of get out of those of that inning with some traffic in there. So I think just going around, being able to battle, get it out of there was definitely key for here in this game.
You guys went into the break with such momentum with the sweep against Detroit, and then you come out and then keep them off the board. Just how does it feel right now, the kind of role you guys are on?
Obviamente ustedes terminaron la primera mitad en un buen camino, esos 3 juegos en victoria, luego vienen aquí y los mantienen controlados. ¿Qué habla o no? ¿Qué significa estos últimos juegos en el ritmo que viene el equipo ahorita?
Bueno, eso habla de que estamos bien y continuar así como lo estamos haciendo. Los muchachos lo veo con mucha confianza, cada uno de los peloteros lo veo bien, con su mentalidad positiva, y espero que sigamos así esta segunda mitad para ver si llegamos al equipo lo más lejos posible.
Yeah, I think it speaks of like the good moment the team is having. I come in here and I see a bunch of these guys, that are excited, in a positive way, positive mentality, and this is kind of the situation or the mentality that you kind of have to have in order to keep advancing in this tournament. I think if we keep going like this, we can get pretty far this season.
To kind of build on that, the crowd seemed really good tonight. They obviously gave you a nice ovation when you got done. How big is it to just have this fan base behind you guys as the second half rolls on here?
También hablando un poco de eso, de la fanaticada de hoy, parece que no se escuchaba mucho. ¿Qué tanto significa esa fanaticada cuando saliste, que te saludó? Pero es tener esa fanaticada ahorita, especialmente ya entrando hasta segunda mitad del torneo.
Bueno, la fanaticada aquí es increíble, porque es una fanaticada que le gusta como nosotros jugamos, le gusta darnos mucha energía positiva, le gusta darnos mucha vibra. Eso es bien porque nosotros nos sentimos que tenemos que hacer un buen trabajo para que los fanáticos se lo disfruten también.
Yeah, I think it's the fans here, I think, are incredible. I mean, when you have fans like that, they enjoy the way you guys play and bring you that energy, those vibes. It kind of makes us ball players play a little better. Try to perform for them. So keeping them rolling and having them here is definitely special.
Thanks, Luis.
Thanks, Luis.
Why don't we keep going?
Yeah.